Greetings, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is L.D. Smith, the watchman on the wall. Your watchman, Israel.
And my name is V.C.E. Smith, and I am the rib of the watch.
Sons and daughters of Zion, this is our midweek teaching.
Yes,
Grab that King James.
Yes, it is.
We got a wonderful teaching tonight, my sisters and brothers. And as we always say, we want you guys to think about the reading. Listen to what you're saying. Okay, listen at the wording. And we know that the Most High will give you clear understanding.
Hear yourself. Think about what you're saying. Think about these words and the way the order that they're put in, the way the Most High has had them written for you to give you an understanding in this day and age that He has awakened you in.
And we're going to give it to you just like the Most High gave it to us, all right? We come from the book of Leviticus, the 13th chapter. Mm-hmm. And you want to summarize a little bit?
Yeah. What we're doing tonight, we told y'all that we were going to do some segments on questions that have been asked to us. Mm-hmm. We get hundreds and hundreds of questions, and we feel bad because some of them are good questions, some of them we throw away, some of them are questions that not just the person that asked needs to hear. Then you may want to ask this question and just haven't gotten around to it, or some of you don't know where to contact us at to ask us questions, which is lietomeno.org on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You can put it in the message box and message us. But a lot of people ask very good questions. Some people ask questions that we feel you would be interested in having the answers to. So that's tonight, young man asked us a question because he has leprosy. Mm-hmm. And he said he used to call it vitiligo. Mm-hmm. He was told that it was vitiligo. Mm-hmm. But he knows now that's not the case. And so we did break it down and explain to him why it's called vitiligo and the lie. It is a lie. That is the English word given to it to deceive. So, because white people don't get it. This is only leprosy can only come to a person of color. Mm-hmm. So when you see a leprous person, you know that they're a black person because why? Their features don't change.
That's right.
They're still a black person. They're a black person without hue.
That's right.
They still have a black person's nose, black person's eyes, black person's lips. They do not turn into Caucasians. Okay, right. So this is something we're going to show you tonight and hopefully give you a little bit of understanding over exactly what we're dealing with when it deals with color. He wanted to know about, well, does he have now olive skin? And we told him, no, you don't. He was told now you have olive skin. We're going to break all this down for you.
Exactly.
Because dealing with white in the Bible and dealing with pale was another one. He doesn't have pale skin. It was changed in about the 14th century probably. They changed these words and added to the meanings and switch the meanings around, but the Most High wants you to know the meaning of it from biblical standards, and when His Bible is written, what it means in His holy word.
And even in their terminology of pale meanings, a white face or whatnot. If you use their terminology in the scripture here, they still is messed up. I mean, they still don't have any hope. Because I know we talked about Jacob's face shall not wax pale, and that's
we're going to give them understanding though tonight what it means biblically compared to what they tell you.
What they tell you about the meaning over here.
Right, in the so-called English understandings of words.
All right.
So we're going to start in, you said Leviticus
13.
All right, let's start with verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in his skin,
see that?
Okay, of his flesh a rising, a scab, or bright spot.
Now think about that. Think about that bright spot. Who can get a bright spot? Only a person that has color in his skin. Now let's keep on. We didn't say a red spot. I said bright spot now.
A bright spot.
All right.
And it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy.
So now we see a picture of what leprosy is. Okay?
And you've seen lots of people who have blotched skin where their black is gone, and it's a whitish looking color on them now, which shows you that the leprosy is there. Okay?
And the hue have left.
The hue is gone. The color is gone. Then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons, the priest.
The priest.
Now we're going to clear this up. You have no priest.
Exactly.
We're not your priest.
Right.
Anybody else out there hollering about their priest is not your priest.
And if we are a priest, we can't operate.
We don't have the authority anymore.
We can't operate in the priesthood now.
It only is conducted when we are people in our land, working out of our land, or going to and fro our land. That's very important for you to know this about, especially with these law keepers. You don't keep nobody else's law. I don't care if it's God's or whoever's law it is. You keep the laws of this land. You're not cutting and killing sacrifices. You're not doing any of the law in this land.
That's right.
All right, verse 3. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh.
Now, note what he's saying. He keep going back to the skin and the flesh. Don't let anyone tell you over the New Testament about somebody being all crippled up like they got rheumatoid arthritis or something like that.
That is not leprosy.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
That's crippled.
We're dealing with nothing but the skin and the flesh. And you see here, leprosy is mentioned.
That's right.
Now, let's keep on going.
And when the hair in the plague is turned white.
See that? Y'all see that? Let's keep on going.
And the plague in the sight is deeper than the skin of the flesh. Now, a lot of y'all
down in there
know that if somebody was to cut us and they remove a layer of our skin, you're going to see white. Because this is our protective coating. This is our coating over the house that God gave us down to walk around in down here that protects us from the sun rays.
Right.
Okay.
Now, let's just tell them straight up and down how it is out in the hood. You know what they say? Beat that nigga down to the white meat.
That's right.
Beat him down to the white meat. That's the layer of skin that is up on
that is revealed when you lose your hue, which is what makes you human when you lose that. All right. It is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean.
Unclean.
Okay.
Unclean. Right there.
Okay. So a lot of people want to know, well, what does that mean? If I got these spots on me and then all this stuff, it means you have leprosy.
You got leprosy.
Now, I know the world wants to pussyfoot around these things, and you like accepting vitiligo and all these fancy names that they've come up with. But biblically, this is a black person's plague. Because a white person can't lose white.
I remember a lady I used to work with, She was a real light-skinned woman, and she had part of the skin on her hand had done turned white. And at the time, I was in Christianity, and I didn't know that it was a leprosy. And she went to the doctor.
A lot of them don't know.
She went to the doctor, and she started using this cream, and then some color started coming in there.
Yeah, they got a cream out there that'll bring back a false color. But believe me, it ain't the hue you got in your skin that God gave you, because God has taken that away. All right, verse 4. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh. Now God is continually stressing, if the skin be white.
Telling you.
So your skin can't be white and then your skin be white.
Yeah, that's right.
He's letting you know who he's talking about. And the spots and the sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days.
7 days.
All right.
Put him in isolation because of the hair had not turned down towards going back in, and of the color of it.
And what is isolation for? Does anybody out there know what isolation is usually used for? When you go to the hospital and they quarantine, and they have things where you're not allowed to go in where this person is because either you could harm them or they could harm you, or the disease could spread or whatever. So when they put them apart, they put them in a quarantine and separated them from everybody else because why? They were contagious.
Contagious, that's right.
All right, verse 5. And the priest shall look on him the 7 days. So only a priest could check on him. And behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay,
mean that it hadn't spread. Right.
And the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more.
14 and 0. All right.
Okay. We'll go to verse 6. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day. And y'all see how important 7 day is to God? 7 days. And behold, if the plague be somewhat dark.
See that?
Somewhat dark. How many dark white folks y'all know?
It ain't gonna happen.
And the plague spread not in the skin. The priest shall pronounce him clean.
See that?
It is but a scab. And he shall wash his clothes and be clean.
All right.
Verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin.
In the skin. See that? We're dealing with skin. This here is not going to change. It may upset some, but look, this is the truth. We're not going to change because someone said, well, you know, you hurt my feelings. Well, if the truth hurt your feelings, then it
ain't our truth, it's God's truth.
You need to leave. I mean, honestly, we're not gonna lie to you here.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what the Most High told us.
You read along with us, and you seeing the same thing that we're seeing. Let's keep on.
Where did I stop at 7? But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest of his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. God is thorough with this thing. He ain't playing.
All right.
Verse 8. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
That's right.
It is a leprosy.
See that? Dealing with nothing but the skin. Now, if you guys remember now, you think we may have time to go over to Numbers 12, or are we going to bypass that?
No, we'll probably get a chance.
Okay, all right. Okay, keep on going then.
Verse 9. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin.
See that? See that? Now, one, just think about the wording. Think about how the wording is arranged there. The person has to be black. They can't be white.
Black.
They can't be white. I mean, the words are right there. All you have to do is just listen to read it and listen to yourself, and you'll see. This can only be a black person.
That's all it is.
Now let's keep on.
And it have turned the hair white. And there be quick raw flesh in the rising. It is an old leprosy in the skin of the flesh.
An old leprosy.
And the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
Unclean.
Meaning, this man had leprosy and couldn't get to a priest. There was no priest in his area, or he couldn't get to the Holy Land for a priest to check him out. But now the priest is seeing this is an old leprosy. He's had this for a minute.
And that quick raw flesh, talking about sensitive.
Yeah.
It was very sensitive. It was a sore.
And he shall shut him up, for he is unclean. And if the leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that hath the plague, from his head even to his feet.
See that? See that? Now, I know a lot of people may not really understand this, but this individual here has lost all the hue from his head down to his feet. They still have the same features. They got the wide nose. They got the thick lips. All that is still there. You got a picture?
Yeah, I'm going to show this young lady here. I want you to look at this young lady right here, and I want you to see. This young girl has leprosy. Everything about her is black, except for her hair is leprous now. Her skin is leprous now. Do y'all understand what we're saying? She didn't turn to a Caucasian. She didn't get a long, thin, pointy nose.
Nope.
She didn't get a slit in her face for a lip. She didn't get the kind of eyes that don't look like our eyes. Her hair, she's probably straightened it though, but she has nappy hair. She has nappy hair. I want to show you another one right quick so that you can get an idea of it. You don't turn from being a person of color. Let's get a whole family. How about this one right here? How about that one? This young lady right here and her children. Her children have it, but she doesn't. All of her children are black children. They don't like little white kids.
No, they don't.
They're not white children. They're black children that have no hue.
And a lot of them say, well, you know, they call them Creoles. Like we were saying earlier, or some of that is that plantation shit. You know, they call them albinos. They have another name for them, but you can see they still have the Negro features.
They have Negro features.
They still got
call them African features.
They still got the wide nose, the thick lips, and the nappy ass hair.
That's right.
The only difference is their hair is white.
No hue. They have no hue. There's a baby in the midst of the crowd with the other black children. This child has leprosy. Not vitiligo. She's not crippled. She has leprosy. Okay? She's still a black child. She looks just as black as all the other children without color.
Right. And see, we're going to show you guys that the Most High cursed one, and then this thing, it just keeps on going. Keeps on going. And see, that's why you see it here today. Yep. No,
so I mean, you could be an ancestor. Your ancestors could be this person,
and it could be here in your DNA for years, hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden it just pops up. But let's keep on. Where did we stop here?
We are going to finish up 12. Wheresoever the priest looketh. All right, verse 13. Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh.
All his flesh.
And he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white.
See that? All turned white.
Then he is clean. Why is he clean? Because he's no longer blotchy. He's no longer spotted. He doesn't have scabs. He doesn't have blotchy spots. He doesn't have the hair coming out of the blotchy spot as a scab. It is all the color has been washed away. Okay? So we're telling you, and we're explaining this because he wanted an explanation, and we feel this is a good one, to explain to everybody, because somebody may have someone in their family. I'm pretty fortunate. I don't have any in my family, but I mean, this could happen. It could come. They're all with all kind of people, so you never know.
I've seen some down south, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a best girlfriend, actually, as a kid growing up, and I used to wonder, we tried to be friends all the time, and something just would always get in the way, and now that I'm older, I understand now why the Most High was doing that, because of who I was and who she was and different things, and he was putting a wedge in there, and we couldn't understand why. It was always something coming in between us, and we was like, well, what's going on? But now I know it was the Most High God. All right, let's go to 14. But when raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. That's the scab. That's the sore we were talking about. 15. And the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean. It is a leprosy. Let me get up here to 16. Right. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest again. So that means if this one was considered clean and he left out the presence of the priest, and then the leprosy came back again, he had to go back to the priest. 17. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. He is clean. And 18. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed. And in the place of the boil there be a white ring arising, or a bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be in sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. Okay, let me get down here.
Right.
21. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days.
We're going to take observation.
And if the spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin thereof, there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth hath a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be a sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy.
See that? Now we see the leprosy is a plague.
It's a plague.
It's not when someone is crippled or anything like that. It is a plague. And we do know that all disease come from who? God. The Most High. Now let's keep on.
But if the plague, this is 26, but if the plague look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days.
To watch it, to see what's going to happen.
And see, only a priest could make these judgmental decisions. Only a priest could determine these things. And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
Unclean.
It is the plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. If the priest look on the plague of the scale, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the scale 7 days. So now y'all know Hebrew Israelites have what color hair? Black hair.
That's right.
All right. Let's go to 32. We on 32?
Yeah, we can do 32 and then we're going to move on.
And in the 7th day, the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the scale spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the scale be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the scale shall not be shaven. And the priest shall shut him up that hath the scale 7 days.
More.
7 days more.
Okay, all right. Now, we got an idea of what leprosy is, right? We have shown you some pictures. Now, let's go and look at Numbers chapter 12. We're gonna just run through this right now because everybody knows the story.
This. And we just taught this one.
You know,
y'all
everybody knows the story about this. But let's just run through it here real quick.
And Miriam and Aaron, start at verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation.
That's right.
And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words, if there be a prophet among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, whom is faithful in all mine house. Get down here to verse 8. Hold on, y'all. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold.
That's right.
Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed.
He walked off. He ain't said nothing else. I'm done.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous. She lost all her color.
All of it.
White as snow.
See that? It's right there in the pages.
She didn't change her features. She didn't start looking like a white girl. And one thing that really bothers me with people, they have this color problem and keep wanting to make the white man Esau. You cannot make a nation that looks nothing like you, that has no features of you, no body structure of you, no likeness whatsoever, be you.
That's right.
If my husband was to lose all his color, if I was to lose all my color, I would not be white as we see white people, but I would be considered white because I'm no longer black or of this dark color. So you can't turn me into a white person and say I'm white now, but you can say that's a black person with leprosy because it no longer has their color.
The only thing changes is your color. You still have your Negro features. Those
they do not leave you.
Are not going to leave you.
They don't leave you. We'll show you right quick. I want to show you how this young lady right here is spotted. All hers is not quite gone. Can you see that? But she's still black. She still has her black features.
Yep.
Your face doesn't change. You don't change because you lose your hue.
Nope.
You don't turn into a white person.
Nope.
All right.
We got that thing. All right, now.
But we do want to express what he said about the purpose of the leprosy on them was separation. And we do know that Miriam was put out of the camp and couldn't come back into the camp until she turned back. So I know this is hard. This is harsh to hear, but the scriptures proves what we say. You do not come back to God unless you're clean.
You got to be clean.
You have to be clean. And we have to wait on Elijah, the prophet, to come if you have leprosy, because you have no priest to go to. You got no one to go to tell you whether or not your leprosy is a clean leprosy or an unclean leprosy.
And see, Elijah, he held dual office. He was prophet and priest.
Yes.
He was a prophet and he was a priest of the Most High God.
And he's the one God sent back.
Not that he was a priest of the Leviticus priesthood, no, but he was a priest of the Most High God.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Now, we're going to go a little further here. We're going to go to Kings, okay?
Okay, second?
Second Kings, yes. We're going to go to Second Kings, the 5th chapter. And here we're going to show you guys several things in here, but the main thing that we're going to show you in here is about the ones that have leprosy. And like I stated earlier, I was describing the different names that they have given them. I said Creole, and then they also gave them the other name. What's the name of them? Vitiligo. And they call them crippled. They call them albinos.
Albinos. All these different names that the white man has made up, so that you don't call it what it actually is, because that would make you reference where you get that from. Leprosy's in the Bible. What do you mean? So that you don't question that, or you don't consider that. You say, I have vitiligo. You got to lie, all right.
Yeah.
But it is not vitiligo. It's leprosy.
It's leprosy. Because you have lost your color. Now, we know that it's dealing with the skin.
It's all about
dealing with the skin. Okay, now.
All right. Chapter 5, verse 1.
Chapter 5, verse 1, and we're going to read on down to verse 19.
Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria.
So Naaman, he was somebody, in Syria. He was a captain. All right.
Was a great man with his master.
Was a great man with his master.
And honorable.
And honorable.
Because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in valor, but he was a leper.
See that?
He was a leper.
He was a leper. Now God is dealing with him and the king both. But now you got something here you want to show, you want to share with us.
Well, I want to just show you how you can be a leper. You need to be born one. You can be born just like that. Born a black man without hue. So Naaman was a leper. All right.
Now let's keep going.
Verse 2. And the Syrians had gone out by companies and had brought away captive out of the land of Israel a little maid. And she waited on Naaman's wife. And she said unto her mistress, Would God my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria, for he would recover him of his leprosy. Now, I want y'all to look at this closely, because here's a child, here's a little young girl, and she knows the seriousness of leprosy.
She knows it.
She was even concerned about somebody she was captive with, because she knew how important it was for God for you to have color.
And see, the thing about it, though, if you look at this right here, just look at this setting. What color were the Syrians? What color was the Syrians? It's right in the pages. All you gotta do is just look at it. It's there.
They didn't look like the 300.
Shoot.
Y'all seen that movie?
It's right there.
Yeah. Verse 4. And one went in and told his Lord, saying, Thus and thus said the maid that is of the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, Go, and I will send a letter unto the king of Israel. And he departed, and took with him 10 talents of silver, and 600 pieces of gold, and 10 changes of raiment.
All right.
And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, saying, Now when this letter is come unto thee, behold, I have therewith sent Naaman my servant to thee, that thou mayest recover him of his leprosy. Now we get where they bowed it, where the Christians get all this buying your way stuff. They got a few bucks, we can get anything we want. All right.
Not so.
Okay, and I'm on 7 now, right? And it came to pass when the king, no, I'm on 6.
No, you on 7.
I'm on 7. And it came to pass when the king of Israel had read the letter that he rent his clothes.
He was ticked off.
What the fuck? Who you think you are?
I mean,
are you out your mind, boy?
You gonna ask me something like that?
That's a serious thing. You don't put me in God's shoes. That's like, y'all, I'm going to go to Anime. She can pray for me.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? Who the hell is Anime?
Yep.
Y'all going to learn something one day.
Boy.
That he rent his clothes and said, Am I God? To kill and to make alive?
Yeah, everybody that ruled in Israel, they knew.
We knew our God.
Who killed and who made alive. They all knew it. But here over in Western civilization, it's the devil. The devil did Satan that. The enemy done took my son. Enemy ain't took nothing. God killed his ass.
Those are all names that your enemy calls God. And now that since you have accepted the enemy's God, you call God those names.
My baby, the enemy done took my baby. No. The enemy ain't took nothing. The Most High took your baby.
And you see how angry the king got? You see how angry when you would tell a Hebrew Israelite something that dealt with their God, you were stepping on dangerous territory.
And they knew that the Most High didn't share his stuff with nobody.
Share his glory with a living soul.
They knew that. Oh yeah, they knew that. They didn't play around with that because they knew, man. You start saying foolish shit like that, boy. The Most High coming to straighten you out. He's going to straighten you out. Now, let's keep on.
That this man do a sin unto me to recover a man of leprosy?
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore consider, I pray you, and see how he seeketh a quarrel against me?
Yeah.
You want to start a war, boy?
Yeah.
You want to come in here talking about my God and saying for me to do things? He said pray. He probably would have killed him on the spot.
Sure would.
Will you pray for me? He'd have probably took a sword and cut his throat. Wish we had some swords.
Yep. That's right.
He say, and it was so when Elijah, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, he got concerned. Who effing with my king?
That's right.
That he sent to the king, saying, wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? In other words,
what's wrong, king?
What's wrong with you, boy? Who's messing with you?
What's wrong?
Boy, I tell y'all, if y'all knew how this word came to us. That he sent to the king, saying, wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. If that prophet had to put his mouth on him, he'd be dead.
Let him come to me.
Send him to me. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariots, and stood at the door of the house of Elijah. And Elijah sent a messenger unto him, saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times.
Yeah, with your arrogant ass self.
I ain't got I ain't coming out to you.
It's like he gonna pull up in front of your house in a stretched limousine, and then ask you to come outside. Elijah said, go ahead and tell that fucker I said go down there and wash.
Go to Jordan.
In the dirty Jordan.
That thine flesh shall come again to thee. And thou shalt be clean. He didn't say, he said that your flesh would come back, because this is a flesh coating. This is a protective covering.
Yep.
Alright? But Naaman was wroth, arrogant little cuss, and went away and said, behold, I thought he would surely come out to see me and stand and call on the name of the Lord of his God, and strike his hand over the place and recover the leprosy. He had it all planned out just like a Christian.
How arrogant he is?
Yep.
Oh, I thought he might come out here to me. Who in the fuck are you? You ain't nobody. You might be great in
your little land,
but to me, you ain't nothing. As a matter of fact, I got what you need.
Thank you. And you being arrogant to that person.
You coming to me. I don't need you. You need me. But that's how it is, though.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
That's truly how it is.
The Most High has to break a person's ass down to nothing.
Yep.
Before they humble.
They don't want
and it is a lot of y'all out there that the Most High is going to bring. He's going to break y'all asses. Watch and see. Just keep on living. It's coming. And like we always say here at LoudMeNoMore.org, in time gonna tell.
Yeah, now he gonna tell the man of God who got his blessing. Listen to this. Are not Benai or whatever and Paraphar, rivers of Damascus, better than all the rivers in Israel?
All the waters of Israel? Yeah.
May I not wash in them?
And be clean?
So he turned and went away in a rage.
Oh, yeah. Temper tantrum.
I tell you where I want to wash.
Temper tantrum. Just like a little kid. I mean, arrogant, boy. I am somebody. That you like a lot of them Christians. They walk around and strut, boy. I'm this and I'm that. And he done fill their head so full of shit until their eyes are brown. You know, thinking that I got power. I can do this now. And can't do a damn thing. Ooh, I mean, some arrogant cuss.
13. And his servants came near and spake unto him and said, my father.
He gonna try to talk some damn sense into this idiot.
if the prophet had bid thee do some great thing, wouldst thou not have done it?
Yeah, he's showing him. Now, if he had did something, asked you to do something that's gonna make you
anoint you,
make you look good or something, you would have did that.
Ain't done that.
But now he asked you to go dip in the Jordan, the dirty water, 7 times. Oh, you go off in a rage.
Says, how much rather then, when he saith to thee, wash and be clean. Simply said, just go wash and be clean. You know, that's how y'all are. I want to use your car. Well, not that one. I want to drive that big fancy one you got. Why you giving me this car? That's how you get when you're full of shit. You gonna tell somebody that's blessing you how to bless you.
Yep.
14. Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean.
See that?
15. And he returned to the man of God, he and all his company, and came and stood before him.
Oh, this time now he came and stood before him. But
he wanted him to come and stand before him first. And he said, behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth.
See that? See that?
But in Israel.
See that? And see, if the Christians could just grab hold to that, they would say, well, okay, well, damn Jesus.
Yep.
Damn Jesus.
Yep.
See, now, here is another race of black people, the Syrians. This man
not even their God.
This man is talking about Israel God.
He done denounced all their gods, everybody else's God, because you know he been trying to get rid of this for a long time. He done went everywhere, paid out lots of money, done everything he knows now. No God but the God of Israel.
That's right. Like they lied about the woman with the issue of blood. She done spent all she had
taking that woman's money.
Jesus ain't healed nobody. Shit. But anyway, getting back here to Naaman him. And Naaman here, he have came to his senses. He have came to his senses now. And there he is. Done forgot all about his God.
Yep.
Done left his God. And then bragging on somebody else's God.
Yep.
See that? Now, if Naaman did that, why can't the Christians get on board? That's what I understand about it. It's right in the pages. We're not making this up. You're reading right along with us. Naaman did this right now. He was from Syria.
Another nation.
They had their own God, but their God couldn't do nothing. Look what this man said about somebody else's God. Right in the pages. Read that again.
Okay.
What Naaman said.
He said,
behold.
And behold, now I know that there is no God in my town, in my city, around the place I live, just in this general area.
In all the earth.
In all the earth.
The whole planet. Or this whole plop of dirt. That belong to the Most High.
Rich man done been everywhere trying to get clean. But in Israel.
I mean, this here is so self-explanatory. I can't see how anybody can't get this right here. I mean, something really would have to be wrong with you up here. If you can't get this right here, something is wrong with you. And no, Jesus is not God. He's not God.
Not even sent by God.
He's not the Most High. Now here is a man, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to read it. He says, behold, now I know.
That's right.
Can any of you guys be convicted, within yourself and say, now I know that there's only one God and He's the Most High God of Israel?
In all the earth.
In all the earth. There is no other God besides Him. Let me ask y'all a question. Out of all the religions on the face of this planet, go and research it. Everyone had their own God, and every damn one of them died, but the Most High. Every one of them, including Jesus, punk ass,
died.
All of them died. You can't find anywhere in the Old Testament where the Most High died. He said He is everlasting from everlasting. That means ain't no end.
No end to Him.
But go and look. I urge you.
And He needs no help.
Go and look at the God that's in India, the God that is in China, the God that is in Korea, the God that is in Japan. All of them. Go over all this whole earth.
All the Muslim gods. Look at all of them.
All of them. Go and look and see. Every damn one of them died, but the Most High. Why can't y'all get that? I mean, it's not hard.
No, it's not hard.
It's not hard. I'm just trying to open your eyes. The white man has bamboozled you. He have tricked you. He have tricked you. Every damn one of those gods died.
Yep.
Every one of them. And all of them go through the same damn sequence about they coming back. Every one of them.
Everyone.
Allah said it. Muhammad, Buddha, all of them say that they're coming back.
They all say the same words Jesus said. They all got the
all
same
of them got
script.
the same fucking script. But the Most High never lied.
Never lied. Still doing things, still ruling, still sitting on his throne.
That's why I talk about Jesus. I'm not crazy. I'm far from it. That's why I talk about Jesus all the time. Jesus ain't shit. I said Mama ain't shit. Joseph ain't. All the characters in the New Testament ain't none of them motherfuckers nothing. And I mean that. And you see me, ain't a damn thing happened to me. As a matter of fact, I had congestive heart failure, and they was talking bullshit to me, and I told them I ain't going nowhere. Still here. And the Most High have taken my heart back to almost 100%.
Once you left Christianity.
Once I left that bullshit.
As long as we was in that, I'm laying hands on him, we slapping, cooking all on him, we screaming, shouting, acting a goddamn fool in our home and saying all kind of crap. And my husband was getting worse and worse and worse.
I'm telling you the truth.
In 2006, the Most High said, enough is enough.
I know.
Turned our whole world around.
I am like all my old patriarchs. I know my Redeemer liveth. And like I said, y'all go and research. Every nation had their own God. And I be damn if all of them didn't die. Every damn one of them died. Including this Western civilization motherfucker. They talk about Jesus. He died too. Just like all the rest of them. But you can't find any place, and I mean any place, in any other books, even the damn books that they rewritten, where the Most High died. Not one time.
Not one. They even got a book, their book where
I dare them say
fight
some
against
bullshit
God
like that,
and they're gonna destroy God and all this stuff. Not gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. The Most High ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. And in the armies of heaven he does whatever he wants to do to the fullness of his pleasure.
That's right.
And can't nobody stay his hand.
That's right.
Nobody.
That's right. And we're going to show you here the reason why we tell y'all all the time, we love you. We really, really love you. And we know you want to bless us. There's some of y'all that just want to bless us because you're so thankful. But we're going to show you that this is not for sale. What we do and what we give you, the Most High brings to us, God takes care of us.
That's right.
You know, sure, we love to have even more and be fancier and have the... But we're thankful and grateful for what he does for us.
And we're going to take care of y'all too.
And we're going to give you just like he gives to us. That's how we get our blessing, because we do as he say and commands us to do. And we get take God, we're not worried.
That's right.
But we're going to show you how the prophet of the Most High did. Listen to, he's talking to a very rich man. And this man was very thankful.
Sure was.
Read this on. Let's finish this up though. He said, now therefore I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant. Now he's his servant.
Yeah, his servant.
First he was, you need to come out here and talk to me, boy. I'm so and so and so and so. All right. Now let's see what the man of God said. But he said, "And the Lord liveth, before whom I stand, I will receive none." And he urged him to take it. Come on now, take this. But he refused.
And see, he knows
He ain't Christian.
He can't take
Baptist preacher.
He can't take the credit for what the Most High did.
Y'all got to bless me. I'm up here putting these messages together for y'all every Sunday. Y'all got to pay me.
He know better than that.
True men and women of God don't want a damn thing from you. We even tell you, keep your opinion. We don't even want that either.
That's right. He told him, I
don't want that.
I don't want that.
Nothing from you. I serve my God. You just said he's the only God. What you got? I got God.
No.
Verse 17. And Naaman said, Shall there not then, I pray thee, be given to thy servant 2 mules burden of earth? For thy servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto their gods,
unto
other gods, but unto the Lord. In this thing the Lord pardon thy servant, that when my master goeth into the house of Rimmon to worship there, and he leaneth on my head, and I bow myself in the house of Rimmon. When I bow down myself in the house of Rimmon, the Lord pardon thy servant in this thing. And he said unto him, Go in peace. So he departed from him a little way.
Yeah, he departed from him a little way. Now, there's this little sidekick of Elijah called Gehazi. He's gonna go behind him and then gonna try to get some gifts anyway. And the Most High doesn't like that. I mean, when you try to come in the back door, the Most High get really pissed off with you. Now we're gonna jump on down to verse 27, and
y'all can read from 20 on down to 27, but for time's sake, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down here to 27. And the leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever.
This is Gehazi.
And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow.
See that? Now, my question, like we told y'all, those people that you see over there not talking about, those are the Assyrians. Those are not true people.
See,
all the people over there, they was black. Now, how can this man here, if he is them white people over there now, how can he get whiter? That don't make sense to me. He had to be black.
So if a child of Gehazi's was born in the midst of the other children, this is what you would see. He was marked.
Yep.
His children, his offspring,
all of them,
would now be leprous. They'd be born leprous.
Gehazi
forever.
And all of his seeds, all the way down.
All the way down.
They're going to be leprous. That was the curse that the Most High put on his ass. And see, now, we told you guys earlier that leprosy came from the Most High. He came right on down here and put it on Gehazi. The same leprosy that was on Naaman, he said, I'm going to put it on your ass.
Sure did. Why? Because he was going to sneak back there and try to take stuff the prophet wouldn't take.
I told you, all diseases come from the Most High. You got cancer, the Most High gave it to you. Ain't no devil. And then the thing about it, when you get killed from it, the Most High killed you. It wasn't no damn prayer that you prayed to Jesus, or you speaking in tongues, or you going praying all night long with your prayer partners and your prayer warriors. That ain't but a bunch of waste of time. The Most High just wanted to spare your ass.
Yep.
Other than that, you'll be gone. You, me, and all. I mean, when I was in the hospital with congestive heart failure, there was a young man. I was 51 then. 51. Anyway, the young man had to be like in his late 20s or early 30s. Wasn't he about
He
that?
had to be, I'd say either late 20s or early 30s.
Early 30s, something along there. And he couldn't walk 5 feet.
He'd take about 4 steps and he had to stop.
He's out of breath, and then over there eating Krispy Kreme donuts.
They snuck him in a big box of Krispy Kreme donuts. And do y'all know he opened his gown and stuck the box under the gown and covered it up. And when the nurses came over, they was already huge. They knew something wasn't right, but they didn't really see the donuts. And he pulled that thing back and pulled a donut out and eat the whole donut. Then after he had done about 6 or 7 of them, he put the box under the pillow and tried to get himself up and told the nurse he had to go to the restroom. And it took him about 15-20 minutes to get maybe 14 feet, because he was closest to the restroom door. You were around the corner a little bit we were like 3 stalls over from him. And we sat there and watched that man and could not believe what we were seeing.
Yep.
He had to stand for almost 4 or 5 minutes to catch his breath from taking 4 steps.
And the Most High made my heart recover itself. Sure did. And I just thank him and praise him. And I told the little young doctor that she was an intern. She had a legs crossed, telling me about a pacemaker, and then gave me this death, this death wish she done put on me. And I told her these words. I said, look, I have my 10-speed bike at the house, and I said, I'll outride you right now. And my baby was 10 years old then, over in the corner, just playing around. She knew what was going on. And she walked throughout the room and went and talked to her superior doctors and came back. Well, okay, Mr. Smith, you don't have to get a pacemaker now, but your heart is going to stop. I told her, I said, well, you keep on living, yours going to stop too.
But right in the midst of them preparing, because she'd already said, we're going to put a pacemaker in you.
Yeah. We're
going to set a date here and now, right now. You're not going to leave the hospital. My husband said, yes, I am.
I ain't standing there. You ain't putting shit in me.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we laughed.
And the Most High been with me the same way he was with Joseph when he was down in Egypt. The Most High have stuck by my side.
Yep.
And that's why I talk the way I talk about Jesus. Ain't no Jesus. Jesus can't save y'all. Jesus can't do nothing for y'all. Y'all been fooled. Y'all been bamboozled. Y'all been tricked. Y'all been hijacked. Y'all been all those things. But the Most High, he is the only true and living God. There is no other.
God.
There is no other.
That's right.
So my brothers and sisters, we wish that
we're gonna do right quick.
we got a couple more. Okay,
yeah, we got a few.
Okay.
That.
Did we finish on
yeah, we did
Kings?
that part of leprosy. We did. Yeah, we went down.
Wait.
I think you got the scripture.
You gonna go to Psalms?
I think it's Psalms. Yeah.
Psalms 28.
I think it's Psalms.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna go to Psalms.
Yeah, not Psalms 28, but
Psalm 52.
52. Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. Psalm 52, and we're going to start at verse 3. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather to speak righteousness. Selah. That means. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him.
The righteous.
The seed of Abraham. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree.
This is David now.
In the house of God. Now we're going to stop there for a moment, because we've been taught as little black children, and we've heard it all our life. And just the other day at work, I heard a girl say she had beautiful olive skin. Well, we're going to show y'all olives. We want y'all to see some olives, and their olives can come in two colors. The unripened olive is green, and the ripe olive is black. Okay? So, you don't see green people. You've never seen a green person. Even when a person gets sick, they don't turn green. So, this was taught to you by your enemy, so that there's no reference to the holy word of God that they're talking about you. They're talking about somebody else. So we're reading this scripture here to show you how David is referencing the green olive.
And see, David here is referencing himself like a green olive tree. Now, we know that when something is green, it is vibrant, it is full of life. This is what David is saying, that he is in the house of God.
That's right.
And see, back in those days, an olive tree was precious.
Sure
Everybody, boy, wanted an olive grove.
Sure enough.
Why? Because of the oil. But see, David here is saying that, but I am like a green olive tree in the house of the Most High God. I trust in the mercy of God for a little while. He says forever and ever. And I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it.
That's right.
And I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints.
That's right.
See that? David saying, I am precious in the house of the Most High. I'm valuable.
Yep.
See that?
And that's what that meant. It didn't mean he had olive skin.
No.
Nobody has olive skin unless you're talking about the black olives.
That's right. That's right. No, he never referenced that he was the color green
man.
He said, I'm like a green olive tree.
So when y'all hear somebody say they got olive skin, from now on say, I didn't know you were green. Because you definitely ain't black.
That's
Those
right.
are the only two colors olives come in. Yeah, okay.
Now
now we're going to go to Isaiah.
Let's go to Isaiah 29.
Isaiah 29. And we're going to look at...
Watch this, my brother and sister.
We'll start at verse 19.
Yeah, let's start at 19. And we're going to read down.
The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord. And the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel.
That's right.
For the terrible one is brought to naught. And the scorner is consumed. And all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender of a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate.
See that? See that?
And turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Therefore, here comes the meat of this thing. Thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob.
Okay, all right.
Jacob shall now not now be ashamed.
Now let's think about this right here now. Look what he says up here in the earlier verses. He says that reproaches in the gates and turn aside the just for things that are not. Now here you got the ones out here in the gates, turning people to the side that wants to know the truth.
Yep.
Then he says that if you go up a little further here, he said that maketh a man an offender for a word. Offender. And layeth a snare, meaning a trap, for him that reproveth him. One that comes out there and reprove him, tells him, no, what you're doing is wrong. I'm gonna straighten you out. You lay a trap for him. Lay a trap for him. But look what he says here. He goes down, he said, therefore, thus saith the Lord who redeemed Abraham according to the house of Jacob.
Concerning the house of Jacob.
Jacob shall not now be ashamed.
Be ashamed.
See that? Now, when you reprove somebody, you getting them straight. You bring shame to them. When you bring reproof to them. But look what he says. He said, Jacob shall not be ashamed. So now we know we're dealing with the emotion and the appearance of
the look of shame.
Somebody's going to be ashamed. So we're dealing with that because we see up above that somebody have been reproved. Okay, now let's keep on going and say, neither shall his face now wax pale. Now we talked about that earlier. In Western civilization, they make pale, meaning that, the white face and whatnot like that. But even though if we reference it like that, this is still talking about the pale-faced white man, and he's letting you know that Jacob is a black man. But let's look at it from the biblical
We're going to give you the biblical. We're going to give you the understanding that they have given you, because they have added to. This was added in the 14th century, the Englishmen, because they wanted to do everything they possibly could to put themselves in the Word of God, and that you not recognize yourself in it. So when you go and you look words up, you have to understand the meanings that they have given it, but the true meaning is usually at the end of a thing. And we're going to deal with the fact of, and we're going to show you something. We want you to see this young lady's face. Back when we were, this is not as back as old as we could go, but this young lady here is waxed pale. And we're going to show you that this is what it means to be waxed pale. When your countenance is sad. You can go back and you can pull up many of our women, because usually our women are the ones who suffered the most with this. The burden was really hard on our women, and you can see the look on her face. That is a pale look. Not to the understanding that you've been giving, not to the understanding that you've been taught of what pale looks like. These women are expressing what pale means.
Shame.
See that look on her face?
Discomfort.
See that?
In her face.
And you go back and you look at these pictures of our women, and our men too, but I wanted to show you the women because our women have gone through hell and they're still going through hell. Our men are putting them through hell. The cattle is doing everything they possibly can to break the last backbone we had, which was our women. Because they have pretty much pummeled our men into the ground. So we're going to show you that the look of pale is faint or feeble, lacking vigor. They were sunk in. They were angry. They did not have that glow that we have. We have sort of a glow because we use a lot of Vaseline. They didn't have all that back then, but they don't have that vigor and life in their face of happiness and joy. They don't have that, so they are looking pale. So they tell you that it is light color or lacking in color. That's a definition of what they gave it in the 14th century. But before that, in biblical times, pale meant unhappy, depressed, no life or vigor in your look, and slumped down, ashamed. Okay?
That's what it means. Now, you got anything on that?
No, I just want to make sure that we want to cover this. We want to deal with leprosy.
Mm-hmm.
We want to deal with the olive skin, and we want to deal with pale,
right.
and let you know that the biblical reference of these words are not the words you have learned in hell. Hell has taught you these things because
That's
hell
right.
wanted to put itself in the word. It wanted you to reference them as the people the Bible was speaking about, but that's not so. God said, tell them, no, leprosy is dealing with black people. White people do not and cannot get leprosy.
That's right.
You are born leprous.
Now let's look. Go to Isaiah 54. You got that one?
You got to read
Okay.
that until I get there.
Isaiah 54. We're gonna add these two together with Isaiah 29 to show you that pale is the discomfort of the sadness,
It's sorrow,
disappointment, hurt,
agony, pain.
all those negative feelings. You know, there's a group, Earth, Wind and Fire. Most of you guys know it. They have a song called "It's Funny."
It's written all over your
It's
face.
written all over your face. I mean, and it is written all over our ancestors' faces in those old pictures that we showed you guys. I mean, can you see the disappointment, the hurt, the sorrow? And the Most High said that it was going to be sorrow all over our faces. He said you're going to be sorry when evening comes, and you're going to be sorry when morning comes.
Let me show y'all what pale looks like. See that woman's face? Do y'all see that? That's a pale-faced woman because she's bitter. Look what she has to hold. Look what has to be. This woman knew, because see, we didn't know this. She knew she was holding an abomination and was forced.
Made to do it.
Forced to take care of it. To put it to her breast to feed it while her children went hungry.
Yep.
This is what we don't want you to forget, and you love it. You are taught to love it, and it get up and kill you once it stands on its own
That's
two
right.
feet.
That's right. That's right. Soon as it get up, it'll kill you. You and your children.
That's pale.
Now let's look at Isaiah 54 here. We're going to read verses 1 through 7. Now pay close attention. Now listen to the word it says. Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forth in singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord.
Well,
Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtain of thy habitation. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thus shall break forth on the right hand and on the left.
yes.
And thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles.
Whoa!
And make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed.
Not be ashamed.
See that? You will not have that look on your face that we just showed you of our ancestors. You won't. Look what he says now. He says, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame.
Come on now.
See that? All that's going to be behind. And look what he says, for thus shall forget the shame of thy youth, and shall not remember the reproach. See that? Of the widowhood anymore. For the Maker is thine husband.
Well now.
The Lord of hosts is his name. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called. Everybody gonna know he's God.
Everybody gonna know.
Everybody gonna know it.
And they gonna know who his people
That's
are.
right. But he's not the God of all the people that is in this world.
That's right.
He's only the God of Israel. Now, my brothers and sisters, we thank you guys for allowing us to come in and share the word of the Most High with you. We hope that this has been an informative teaching, and we pray that the Most High, did give you guys an understanding. Until our next meeting, we wish you guys to have a happy midweek. Until our Sabbath.
Shalom.
Shalom.